Hello everyone. I promised you 20 tangles in our Saturday series, and we only got through 19 during our 5 weeks, and so I decided to go ahead and record a quick little standalone video with one surprise bonus tangle to bring you up to the 20. And in fact, I just learned this tangle today, so this is probably something you've never seen. And I took a class today from some CZTs in Spain, and they taught a whole bunch of tangles that I had never used before, and this was my favorite of the tangles that I learned today, so I thought I would share it with you. It is called cyclamen, and it is an organic tangle that's very flower inspired. If you're a gardener, you might recognize that cyclamen is also the name of a garden plant. And I'm going to draw today with an 01 pen. I'm using our regular 2.5-inch tile that we've been drawing on all the time, but you could use any tile or your notebook, whatever you like. I'm going to start by drawing a fairly largish oval, and I'm going to give myself a little circle that I'm going to leave empty on that circle. And I'm going to give it an extra aura on one side. Then I'm going to change temporarily to an 8 because I'm going to ink in this big section, and the 8 is going to ink in quite a lot faster. That little white dot that is in the middle is just a little shine mark. As usual, when we're inking in, we want to be nice and solid with that ink. And then we're going to put an aura around this shape, but before we do, I'm going to put two little marks, and I'm going to put them directly across from where the little white arc is, and they're going to stick out like this, but they're not quite touching that shape that we started. And then I'm going to use those as the starting point to draw an aura all the way around. And connect it back up with that side. I'm going to turn the tile upside down, and I am going to draw the leaf shape that reminds me a little bit of poke root. So I start out here and come around on both sides of that little stem, and then I'm going to put two more to the right and two more to the left. And when I'm drawing these, if I start at the point and then come down, it's a little easier to make them even. And notice that the leaf is tucked behind and doesn't complete the whole shape. And then here's the last one on this side. And then I'm going to put two more on this side. And that is the Tangle cyclamen. I'm actually going to draw a couple of them and then add a few stems just to make this tile look a little bit more complete. So I'm going to put the next one over here. Here's my little white stripe on that edge. And here's my little highlight. I'm just going to grab my 08 for the inking in part. And then I'll go back to my 01 for the rest of the drawing, starting with the little stems of the first leaf, and then an aura all the way around. And then I'll start my first leaf petal, 2 more to the left and right to complete the rest of it. And then I'm going to draw one more. I'm going to draw this one up here. And I'm going to draw it close enough that I have to hullabaugh when it gets time to draw those petals. That's the inking done. Start the little stem. And now for some petals. And here's where I'm going to have to get a little bit creative about where those petals would be, since they're falling behind this other one, and really all I get is that last little arc on the final petal. And then before I do any shading, I think I'm going to add a few stems just to kind of complete the look. When I draw a stem, I usually make it a little bit thicker at the top where it's joining the flower. I'll make it skinnier as it comes down. And just a short little stem there. And you could certainly add some leaves if you feel like you need them. Good old flux would work for leaves as well. So let's put a little graphite on these. Shading is pretty, oh, I forgot actually a little detail. We're going to add a couple of little strokes in these leaves. You don't really need them in the middle one where the stem is, but we'll put 2 little or 1 strokes in each of the others that are on the side. There we go. That looks a little more complete. Shading on this, obviously where the leaves join the center. And then we're also going to shade the leaves that tuck behind. Always shade on the bottom leaf when when one shape overlaps another one. Blend that in with my tortillon. And I'm just going to use the dirty tip of my tortillon to just add a little extra dimension to the outsides of these leaves. and as well to the opposite curve. And we'll repeat that on the other two little tangles. And here where the entire one goes behind, it's important to always catch the background shape and add a little extra graphite to it. Soften that a little bit, and we'll give a little bit of color to the opposite side. Make sure you leave that little white smile nice and clean when you add this extra graphite on the other side. One more. Just put a little bit of graphite on the top and bottom of the stem, as well as the any overlaps that I have among my leaves and their root and tip ends. And there you go. This was the Tangle cyclamen, which I learned today and thought I would share with you. I hope that you have fun drawing it too.